Hey everyone, and welcome to my plaza tour. I am so excited to show you guys what all I have done to my plaza, and wait until you see what it looks like at night. I'll show you that at the end of the video. Just in case you haven't seen what my Valley Plaza used to look like, yeah, here is just a small clip of how absolutely chaotic it was looking. So it was actually a really big deal that I finally sat down and decided to get rid of the clutter, get rid of the mess, and finally focus on making the plaza the plaza. So immediately when someone visits our valley from the wishing well, they will immediately turn to the left here and see our little city area, which I'm super excited about. I actually saw this as inspiration online, but once I saw this, I was unable to unsee it. I was like, no, these buildings have to go together. So yeah, we have Chef Remy's, Scrooge McDuck's store, Daisy's boutique. They're all right here. I actually decided to put the rustic clock tower in the middle as a focal point, and I really thought that brought all the buildings together. In the inspiration I saw online, they actually had a fourth building that I believe was probably from a star path or purchase item, which is one I didn't have. So this space is still up for grabs. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I'm leaning towards doing some more daily tasks for Remy. This is a newer thing, so you can get the wrought iron to build some of the Paris furniture. And I really want to do that because I'm thinking I'll probably start a little wrought iron fence like right here, and also right here on the edge of this ledge right here, and make a little seating area that's in front of the restaurant. And I'll probably put maybe a harp, a piano, something like that to kind of insinuate that this is a fancier dine-in, dine-out restaurant, you know, and you can enjoy the cityscape while villagers are eating their meals. So that's really exciting. I just have to do some more tasks for Remy. I did also put these little trash cans that I am so obsessed with. I love the trash cans. I think they add a nice touch. Actually, you know what this space reminds me of is when we went to Walt Disney World. This is exactly kind of how it was, getting these little spaces that were off to the side. Specifically, it reminds me of Epcot. Epcot has these little spots where you can kind of like go and sit tucked away in different worlds. And I just kind of like love this. It's so great. So wonderful. It's a peaceful city shopping area, and I love how it turned out. Now, let's say our villager decides to turn to the right. Over to the right, we have Remy's apartment complex, and why I love it being over here is because I wanted only this space over here to be just for, you know, consumption. So people to go shopping, people to go eating, but this is a living area. So this has to be more residential. And so to simulate that, we have a fenced in apartment complex. I love the little courtyard area. I may add some more things to it later on in the future, but for right now, I think it's so stunning. I think it's the perfect little courtyard area. It kind of reminds me of Only Murders in the Building. It just has a nice little courtyard area and then some outside seating in case anyone wants to kind of sit outside and just admire the nature, admire the town that we have here. So yeah, it's so pretty. And if you actually look over here to the left, this was something I saw as an inspiration online many months ago when Wally first came to Disney Dreamlight Valley, and I have had that idea saved for so long because I again could not unsee that inspiration. It was one of those things where I was like, must use this for this function. So basically fans did not know what to do with Wally's truck because it's so different from all of the other buildings we've received. And so one user had the idea of pretending it was an actual garbage truck picking up actual garbage. And so I have totally recycled that idea and made my own apartment complex area where trash is put and the garbage truck comes and picks up the trash, which is so fitting for Wally's character. And so I especially love that it matches his aesthetic and his character. Like, he would be so enthralled by all the treasures he finds. Oh, I just love that so much. So that's really fun. Before we get over to the second half of our plaza, I do want to show you two ideas that I had that I put at the end of each part of the street, and that is this bus stop. I thought, oh my goodness, we must have a little bus stop with some bicycles that people can rent and they can go travel across the town. but this is the bus stop sign. This is the bench where people wait. And just for purposes of what is our bus, it's the fairy godmother carriage. That's the bus that takes you around. Either that, or this is a carriage that if people wanted to take like a stroll through the town, they can sign up and go for a carriage ride from the park. So that's my idea for that. Now, on the other side of the road is parking. Someone's got to have some spaces to park their spaceships and their race car. So this is what I designed for the other half of the side of the road, is just a little bit of parking. So that way anyone can come into the town and shop or enjoy the Disney park. So let's talk about the Disney park. Now we've gone to the left and we've gone to the right. But what will the villager do if they go straight on ahead? Well, the very first thing you see, and the thing that I love is the focal point of my plaza, is the Walt and Mickey fountain. I love that it's the center. It reminds me of Magic Kingdom, and I just absolutely adore the idea of when a villager comes into the valley for the first time, they are greeted by Walt and Mickey, because what better way to start than to see Walt, the idea behind it all, right? So I love that. I also found the crosswalk idea online. I was struggling so hard to figure out how can I make a realistic looking crosswalk, and struggling in general because I couldn't decide what pathways to use in the plaza. Like, I wanted to use the asphalt, but I felt like it almost kind of looked a little too harsh. And then I wanted to use all of this brick pathway, but then I wanted to also kind of use this other brick pathway. So I ended up doing a mix and match of the pathways. So you'll see 3 different types of flooring that have been laid down in the plaza. And I love how that turned out. I'm glad I didn't commit to just one, but a mixture of all. And I love how that ended up turning out better than just using one overall. So first, let's enter the park on this side. So we come over on this side, and these pathways, oh my goodness, let me tell you about these pathways. So I really wanted to do a park that felt not so straight pathed, but that felt more natural, that felt more like a walking path. So I had to do a YouTube tutorial, and shout out to that YouTube tutorial. If I find it, I'll link it, on how to make curved pathways in Disney Dreamlight Valley. So basically what you're doing is you're just making a jagged or rugged pathway that's not straight, and then you're taking rocks and you're kind of forming along a curved path. So once I did that, I was so obsessed with how it turned out. I was like, oh my gosh, this looks so manicured and so good, but it also doesn't look, completely A-line and straight, but it looks a lot more like a park, and I love that. That's kind of what I was going for. So once you go across these pathways, I added some mix and match different nature pieces just to kind of give some different foliage other than just using plaza foliage. So I kind of mixed some of the newer Eternity Isle foliage with some plaza and other flowers as well. Loved how that turned out. And then right over here, we have the nice park ice cream stand. If you're wanting to get a popsicle or an ice cream cone, you can just take a stroll through nature and get you one. Love it. And then I put this beautiful gazebo in the center. This is actually an area where I feel like the person that takes care and tends to the garden and the flowers, they come over here and they just kind of spruce things up every once in a while. And if this spot needed to be used for an event, it could easily be traded out for something else. Maybe it's an outdoor concert, or maybe it's a ceremony of some sort. It can totally happen under the gazebo. I also added these brick bordered pathways to kind of resemble like this is a stepping stone to get to the gazebo. I liked that better than just having just the brick pathway that just randomly ended. So I added that. And then back to our center, we have, of course, the Walt and Mickey fountain. This is a spot that you can actually sit and enjoy the plaza. I mean, look at this beautiful scene right here. Butterflies everywhere, a beautiful sunset, running water. The plaza is so, so peaceful. I think this is my favorite space so far, right here. Right? Isn't it so nice? I love it. I love it. I love it. So, continuing forward on the path, we have another area over here. And this is just another seating area where if a villager wanted to sit and look over into the peaceful meadow, which, by the way, it's not so peaceful right now. I haven't decorated it yet, and there's just stuff everywhere, but coming soon. They can sit here, feed the squirrels, just again, take in nature. And I found this in my inventory, didn't even know I had it. It's a floor fountain, and it reminds me of a park that we have back home. So I added it in the center, just kind of like a splash pad. If a character wanted to kind of cool off in the summer days, they could. Um, but it reminded me of a park back home, so I went ahead and added it there. And also over here to the end of the park, we have a little outhouse. And I take it to be two ways. It could literally be an outhouse for the villagers that are in the park, or it could be a garden shed. This could possibly be the place where the gardener that tends to all the flowers and foliage keeps all of his tools, and maybe some fertilizer and just different pots for plants that are growing. And then right over here in the corner, we have two peaceful areas where villagers can picnic. And I think this is a nice little spot as well, because if you're picnicking, look at your view. I mean, stunning, right? So peaceful. So peaceful. So, yeah. And then one other thing too that I wanted to note that I really, really appreciated and loved is you can also notice the two trees that are forming behind Walt and Mickey. I love that they're adjacent from each other. I love that they're opposite and inverted of each other. It just is a nice little touch to the manicuredness of the park. So, yeah, I think this is possibly my favorite space right now in my valley. It came together so well, but one quick thing before we leave, I have to show you what it looks like at night. Okay, we are back at nighttime, and I am so excited to show you guys this very small detail that I feel makes a huge difference at night. So the plaza is already lit up with a lot of natural lighting. As you can see, there's lanterns on every side, every post of the plaza. But to further give that nighttime-esque nightlight feel, I took these small table lights that are intended to go on a table for a fancy restaurant, let's say Chef Remy's. But instead I used them to be lights for nighttime. So when you enter into the garden or the park, they're on every part of the pathway. You can see that everything is lit up, everything has its own light, just to give an extra touch to all of the magical things that make this park what it is. So it's really fun to see everything, and especially fun to see it from an aerial point of view. So I want to show you guys. Look at it. Oh, look at all of those pretty, pretty lights. I love it. I love how it turned out. It really brought the space together, and I think this is definitely my new favorite spot in the valley, and I'm looking forward to just refining some other places in my valley and making them more cozy and more homey. So here's to more builds, and I really hope you guys liked the plaza, and I would love to know what your thoughts are and how is your decorating going in your valley. I would love to hear in the comments below. Let me know what you think, and yeah, I'll catch you for another video or build sometime soon. You guys have a great rest of your day.